How's it going, boxing fans? This is Libero 185 right here. This is a little rundown on the upcoming welterweight title fight, Andre Berto versus Carlos Quintana, and most of them are pretty known names. They've fought several famous opponents, but they're both not, like in the elite known titles like Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather. So I'll just give a quick background check on both of them. Andre Berto is 25-0, 19 of them coming by way of KO. He's undefeated. He captured the WBC welterweight title after Floyd Mayweather vacated it when he retired in 2008. He won it in a vacant title fight against Miguel Rodriguez. And since then, I gotta say, Berto's a tough guy. I like his skills. He's very fast. He's brutal uppercut. I really like that about him. But I mean, his toughest fight was against an old Luis Collazo, and he in the past couple of fights he's just been fighting junior welterweights. He fought Steve Forbes, and he's usually a junior welterweight, and then he fought Juan Arango in May of 2009. But and again, many people thought when he fought in January of 2009, many people thought, well, Luis Collazo had just got beaten by Shane Mosley. It was going to be an easy fight for Berto, but it ended up being a very competitive fight. He caught Forbes. He caught he caught Berto with a couple of good shots, and two of the judges had a 114, 113 for Berto, and this one guy had a 116, 111. So there's a little bit of a discrepancy in that fight, but it was a really close match. I happened to see it. It was a really good fight. And there was two questions in the fight, and that was either, was Collazo just really that good in that fight? Did he come back with a new mindset? Did he come back with some new skills and with a new game plan, refreshed, or was Berto just not that experienced that when he fought a guy like Collazo, he was proven to have many flaws? But nonetheless, and like I said, and a couple months later, he ended up fighting Juan Arango and won another lopsided unanimous decision against another junior welterweight. And he's supposed to fight in, I believe, January again against Shane Mosley. That was a welterweight unification fight, but then he backed out because of the Haiti earthquake, and he had some family that died in Haiti, and his mind wasn't really all there. So he decided to cancel it, and I respect that, But now, so that's Berto, and just a little quick rundown of Carlos Quintana. And he's fought a couple of famous people too, most notably when he fought Miguel Cotto for the vacant WBA welterweight title. He actually retired in the 5th. They had to stop the fight, but he bounced back and eventually got another title shot against Paul Williams, who's now he's a middleweight now. He fought Paul Williams and he was undefeated, and he won by unanimous decision. And to this day, the only loss that Paul Williams has is to Carlos Quintana. So right then and there, you have to give credit to Carlos. He hasn't just fought nobodies. He fought a really tough Paul Williams, and he took him to school. Well, he didn't beat him that bad, but nonetheless, he beat him. But also, again, in the rematch, he lost by TKO in the first round. And ever since that loss, he's only in June of 2008, he's only fought twice. He fought again in late 2008, and then he wouldn't fight until December of 2009. And his two fights after the Williams loss were at light middleweight. So he's coming back down to welterweight for another title shot, which I think he deserves. He's not the choke artist that many people put him out to be, because even though he did get blown up by Paul Williams in the rematch, when you take down a guy like Paul Williams, you have to give it credit because it's due right then and there. And sorry to mention, Carlos Quintana's record is 27-2, 21 coming by way of KO. So he only got 2 losses, only to Miguel Cotto and Paul Williams. Nothing to be ashamed of. But going on to my take on the fight, it's going to be this coming Saturday, April 10th, at the BankAtlantic Center in Florida. It's a 12-round bout for the WBC welterweight title. And let me just say that I don't know how much coming down to 147 is going to affect Carlos Quintana. I don't think it will, but you never know. So we'll see how that goes. And also, Andre Berto has never fought a guy who went all the way up to light middleweight. Like I said, he fought Steve Forbes and Juan Arango, and those guys are full-time junior welterweights. So, and when he did fight a guy who was 147, that was Luis Collazo, and we saw what happened in that fight. So maybe we'll see something different here. I don't think people should count on Carlos Quintana just because he got two really bad losses against two elite fighters. So this is going to be a very entertaining fight, very competitive, maybe even more competitive than Luis Collazo. I for one, hopefully the judging's a lot better. But I think that Andre Berto takes this fight by a close, unanimous decision. None of this, two guys have it close and one guy has it, really far bullshit. Hopefully all the judges see that. They see the true nature of the fight and how close it is or how competitive it is. And Andre Berto he's really fast as a welterweight. He kind of has, and like I mentioned earlier, he has a killer uppercut. I think that's going to be the key to the fight. Quintana really has to look at the tapes against he has to look at the Collazo fight and just study the hell out of it and know what weaknesses Berto has, or more recently the Arango fight, and see if he still has those weaknesses. And no disrespect to Quintana, but like when Berto was supposed to fight Shane Mosley, but then he pulled out, fighting Quintana instead of Mosley is a step down. But nonetheless, it doesn't mean that Quintana is just some club fighter. Andre Berto does have his hands full in this fight. And like I said, I think Berto takes it by unanimous decision. I think it's going to be a really close fight. Quintana, I don't know, maybe the beating that Paul Williams did take something out of him. I don't know. But we'll see. This is another good test for Andre Berto. I'm glad he's fighting a guy like Carlos Quintana and not just some mandatory, no-name club fighter that the WBC mandates. It should be a good fight. I hope you guys tune in. It's going to be on HBO World Championship Boxing. And following the fight, this is the first episode of Mayweather-Mosley 24/7. Be sure to watch that. But like I said, I think Andre Berto takes it by unanimous decision. I think he's just too fast for Carlos Quintana. And we saw Quintana's speed and elusive skills in the first Paul Williams fight. But I think Andre Berto the guy just fights like a lightweight, almost. He's really fast. And I think that, and I don't mean fast like Manny Pacquiao fast. I mean like for a true 147-pounder, his hands do move at a good speed. And I think that Carlos Quintana's experience in tough fights like the Williams fight, like the Cotto fight, will play a difference and in my opinion, this will be the toughest test of Andre Berto. So I'm glad he is fighting a guy like Carlos Quintana who does have history. And again, I think this is going to be a good fight. Make time on Saturday, watch it. It should be good, and hopefully we're not disappointed because these are two promising welterweight contenders. And I'm interested to see how Andre Berto handles a true 147-pounder like Quintana. And we saw what happened in the Collazo fight, and hopefully we'll see something as just exciting this Saturday. So again, feel free to post comments, your rebuttals, convince me otherwise. It's all good. So this Saturday on HBO World Championship Boxing, following the fight, first episode of Mayweather-Mosley 24/7. All right, peace.